probably because if you say butterfly knife, you confuse it with the balisong. A sword, it's a knife. So it's a soft weapon. So you want to drag and make a long cut. Can I borrow your arm for a second? So if I just chop, I only make a cut like this. But if I drag, I make a long cut. So your goal is to, if you use the arm, if you cut the arm, slice the arm or slash it, you make a long cut and the muscle tissue pops out. If you want to cut across the body, oh yeah. When you cut across the body, you try to disembowel the person. So it's a soft weapon. So one of the most important things is to know how to use it. Knowing the form is okay, but a lot of people know the form and don't know the mechanics behind it. First of all, in a real Pak Cham Do, only the bottom third should be, only the top 2/3 should be sharp. The bottom third should be dull. The reason for that is so you can block with it, use the block. So there's a couple of reasons for that. One is if your opponent has better steel and you do edge against edge, you're going to damage your blade or cut through your blade. If you block a pole and it goes deep into the wood, he pulls the pole back, he may disarm you, take your weapon away. Right? Slaughtering, butchery. Same thing. So from here, I block, I check, I cut. Now this should be over. Once I do block, check, slice, but something happens, I missed him. I block, I check, I slice, I block, I check, I slice, block, I check, I slice, I block, I check, I slice, I block, I check, I slice, I check, I slice. So let's do this real slow. With the partner, your partner holds the blade up. Block, check. This one slices. So in this instance, I started with my right hand. So my right hand blocks and slices. The left hand only checks. If I started with the left hand, it would be the left hand that would block and slice, and the right hand would check. What we're going to do for the right hand. So I block across, check, and I slice. Block, check, slice. Block, check, slice. Block, check, slice. Block, check, slice. This is for the inside. We have another one for the outside. I'll show you that later. Okay, when you're holding the pole, you don't want to hold it like this because this edge of the circle can dig into your bone. So you want it a little bit past the bone. And when you do a strike out, you want your fist on your, in this instance, the right pec. If it was the other side, it'd be on the left pec. Not in your sternum, and definitely not out here. If someone hits my pole, I lose control of it. So remember that. So when you do a strike out, you're going to strike right here. See, that's wrong. See that? It should be right about here. So it doesn't dig into your ulnar bone if you get struck. So right about here. So when you strike out, right here. The same thing is when you're doing the Duma stance. You want your thigh to support the pole. Not here, because if you get hit, the pole gets hit, it just knocks into your groin area. So right about here. So from this strike, you're going to bring it up and strike out. Strike straight up, like this, in this area, the fist or the hand, okay?
Go.
So you want a grip that's about shoulder width. You don't want a narrow grip like this. You have no leverage. I can't move him at all. See, this way I can move his body, okay? People say, with this grip, you can get your hand hit. I'm not gonna get my hand hit. If that's the case, I just do this. I need to have that leverage, right? So I don't want a narrow grip like this. I don't want too long of a grip either. That'll really expose your hand. What about a little bit wider than your shoulder? That's the grip. And then up, and then you strike out. Okay? All right? So you need to have the leverage. As a matter of fact, on the wooden dummy, you train your waist. Some of the training is you move the dummy because it slides left and right, and then you do the other side and push to train your waist strength, your U-lip. Okay?
Go.
So from the guard, I'm going to step forward, do a tando and a bondo. That's going to be a quad. So my right hand's going to come on the inside, forget the left hand, and do a tan. Then it's going to go up and do a bondo, and then come on the inside and do a tan. And then when you put those together, you got the quan. See? So what I want to show you next is you do the quan, right? You want to jut inside, outside, slash. So you see with the pole. So put your pole to the side. So this jut, see, disrupts your movement, your momentum. I jut to come in. See, I would be this way. So I jut the pole to have room for this to come in, slice, and then slice, okay? So, Chun, jut. It's almost like a wusa, protecting your face. So it's like a tan, jut, which becomes almost like a wudo. And then inside, cut. Notice I never lost this in case he's struck again. I keep that here, right? Remember, you're only using the bottom third to block. If I block up here and he pushes through, see, I'm gonna cut myself. Here, it's stronger if he pushes. So wherever you do, you block the bottom third of the blade, which should be dull. You use your eyes to guide your hand. So one more time, you swing to my side, tan, I jut to give myself room, hand, wherever I'm gonna stick. Okay, got it? Okay. Okay, so tan means to spread or disperse. So if someone punches at me, I don't want to take the brunt of their force on a small part of my arm, so I spread the force. That's what tan means, you spread the force. Like spreading butter. Same thing with the tan do. See? I don't try to, if he swings, I'm not trying to do that. I disperse the force and then take it away. So tan is to disperse, tan do, jut do. And when you do that jut, some of you are doing this and having it that way and all over the place. You need to have this up here, protecting your upper gate, okay? So from this tan, forget the other hand, the bondo, this tan do, there's two reasons. One reason to mess up with your momentum. When you swing at me, I block and I do that to your weapon. It throws your momentum off. But also, if this was a knife, you slide down. You cut my knuckles. So whenever you do a tan do, always do a jut do. So I do this, and he slides down. He's not gonna cut me. He slides off the handle. So Chun do, and I do the jut because it may be a downward strike. You may be coming down, and keep going down. You cut my hand. That was a sharp edge weapon. So if he comes down, see, that's another reason you do the tan jut. Okay? All right. Thanks. Okay. So from here, it's not a chop. It's not chop. Come here for a second. It's a dragging weapon. Just give me your arm. So I want to drag the weapon. So I want to make a long cut so the muscle tissue pops out of the limb. Or if I go across the body, I want to drag. So it's not chopping, it's a slashing weapon. So you slash, you drag, it's dragging. So that's why I slash this way and I slash that way. So that's what these movements are. Upward slash, upward slash, upward slash, downward slash, downward slash. See? I slash up, okay? So remember, it's a dragging weapon. If I just chop like that, look, you gotta cut that long. Can you see that? But if I drag it, I know I have a cut here that was this long, and I could see the muscle come up out of my arm. So when Grandmaster Chun showed me that, I remembered it from experience. I want to drag the weapon so your skin opens up and the muscle tissue comes out. Okay?